Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm having a little bit of trouble making today's video because I have a pretty nagging cough, so if there's random pauses or you might hear me cough on occasion, it just is what it is. But anyways, for today's video, there's not a lot of action on the board. We're just going to talk about four games as having some decent value against the spread. And if you're interested, you can get our daily free play over at our main website, stumpthespread.com. And you can do that by clicking this logo in the top right hand corner of the video if you're on desktop, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description if you're interested in getting over to our main site through that means. But again, if you're interested in more of this kind of content in the future, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button, and also if you can click the thumbs up on this video, it really helps us out and is greatly appreciated. Like I said, in today's video, we're just going to be touching on four games as some decent plays against the spread. And we're going to start over in the Big East between St. John's and Seton Hall. St. John's is hanging around in the middle of the standings in the Big East, which is a step in the right direction for this program, but it's worth noting that the Red Storm have picked up two of their three conference wins against the likes of DePaul. On the year, this rebuilding St. John's program is standing, not necessarily extremely respectable, but heading in the right direction. They are standing 9-11 overall and 3-4 in the Big East. The Red Storm rank as the worst defensive team in the conference, as this group likes to push things a bit offensively, as St. John's ranks 116th in the nation in scoring compared to 233rd in total defense. In their last outing, the Red Storm came through at home against DePaul, picking up that win by a final of 78-68. But in their last road game, the Red Storm didn't look so great as they were blown out on the road by Georgetown, losing by a final of 55-83. The home team in this game is going to be Seton Hall, and Seton Hall has fallen in three straight, and now the Pirates are getting desperate to get back on track, standing 12-6 overall and 2-4 in the Big East. Seton Hall has a lot of veteran talent, but this group has been inconsistent on the offensive end, and they've shot themselves in the foot on a number of occasions with their poor free throw shooting. Seton Hall was demolished in their last outing on the road, losing to Villanova by a final of 46-76. And these are the kind of poor offensive performances that the Pirates can have against quality defensive opposition. Seton Hall has talented vets like Carrington and Rodriguez, who are averaging 17.8 and 16.6 points per game, respectively. St. John's picked up a nice confidence-building win in their last outing at home, and this is now a chance for the Red Storm to prove themselves on the road against the team they currently stand above in the Big East. Seton Hall is desperate to get things back on track, and even though we do like the Pirates to get things done and win this one straight up, we do like St. John's getting the points as the better value bet, especially considering the fact that Seton Hall often struggles with their free throw shooting, and that can really make a major difference when trying to cover a spread of this particular size. So we do like St. John's to get enough offense here as they go on to cover this 8.5 to 9 point spread here against the veteran Pirates. Excuse me. All right. Heading over into the Big Ten, we have Northwestern versus Ohio State, and what's a really, really important game for the Buckeyes. This is finally looking like a Northwestern squad that will be able to break through and make the NCAA tournament, as the Wildcats have been solid this season, standing 15-4 overall and 4-2 in the Big Ten. Northwestern likes to play in the half court, building off of their defense, as the Wildcats rank 31st in the nation in points allowed and 132nd in scoring average. Northwestern is riding a three-game winning streak, and the Wildcats impressed in their last outing, getting past Iowa at home by a final of 89-54. But things figure to get a little tougher here today on the road for the Wildcats. Northwestern has three players averaging in double figures, with Scotty Lindsey leading the way, averaging 15.8 points per game on what's been a pretty balanced offensive attack there for the Wildcats. Then the home team, we have the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they were really at a tipping point this past week. And to Ohio State's credit, they were able to come through, picking up critical wins against Michigan State at home and then against Nebraska on the road in their last outing. Ohio State has been a tough team to figure out at times this season, but the Buckeyes are another group that likes to play in the half court, ranking 64th in the nation in total defense and 194th in scoring average. If Ohio State wants to make a run at the NCAA tournament, then they need to continue to take care of business on their home court. On the year, Ohio State has an impressive 5 players averaging in double figures, and this squad does a really good job of distributing the ball around to all of their different offensive threats when they're really clicking. Ohio State has stepped up their play as of late, and with their backs against the wall, the Buckeyes have been able to pick up some really critical wins. Northwestern has proven worthy on the road so far this year in the Big Ten, but things will be really tough for the Wildcats today in a Columbus environment that should be really raucous there for their home squad. We do like Ohio State to build off of their home crowd in this one as they continue their recent string of victories as they go on to cover the spread in this one against the Wildcats. All right, guys, moving on over to the horizon, we have Detroit versus Northern Kentucky. The Detroit Titans had finally started showing some signs of life with their recent back-to-back wins against Oakland and Youngstown State, but the Titans were roughed up again the other day on the road against Wright State, falling back, losing by a final of 88 to 106. Detroit has had some major issues on the defensive side of the ball this season, ranking a pitiful 348th in the nation in points allowed, giving up 85.1 points per game on average. The Titans now stand just 4-15 overall and 2-5 in conference, and things will be really tough for this group today on the road against a hungry Northern Kentucky squad that has a pretty solid home court advantage. Northern Kentucky looked strong for a portion of their last outing at home against Oakland, but the Norse fell apart in the final 10 minutes against the Golden Grizzlies, and they went on to lose that one by a final of 70 to 79. Northern Kentucky is riding a 3-game losing streak, but this group is more dangerous than their current 3-4 record in the horizon might indicate. The Norse have a strong home court advantage, and this group has been steady on both sides of the ball this season, ranking 132nd in the nation in scoring and 157th in total defense. Northern Kentucky has at least has the ability to put up similar numbers offensively to Detroit, but their defense could make a major difference in this one for the home team, as they give up considerably less points per game than the Titans. NKU has to be upset with themselves for not finishing the job in their last outing at home against Oakland. But this is now a great chance for the Norse to get back on track, going against one of the worst teams in the league. We do like for Northern Kentucky to take advantage of Detroit's porous defense as they go on to win and cover this spread behind their home court advantage today. All right, guys, moving on here. Let's see here. All right, so the next game that we want to talk about is going to be over in the American, and that's going to be between UCF and Memphis. All right, so UCF now has a healthy roster, and they've been able to really pick things up right where they left off with B.J. Taylor back in the lineup. UCF was playing great before Taylor got injured, and now with him back in the lineup, they're looking really strong yet again. And the Knights now stand impressive 14-4 overall and 5-1 in the AAC. UCF has quietly become a major threat in the American, capitalizing off of their manageable slate, leading on their elite defense, which ranks third in the nation, giving up just 58.6 points per game on average. The Knights have 4 players averaging in double figures, and Matt Williams has really stepped up, leading this offensive attack, averaging 16.3 points per game. And what's really been impressive here with UCF is veteran forward A.J. Davis was really a top performer for them last year, and he's ranked about 5th to 6th right now on this particular lineup with his scoring. So if A.J. Davis is even able to step up his play, he came into the year coming off an injury. He hasn't been able to produce quite in the same way that he was able to last year, but he's a tremendous free throw shooter, and if his offense improves, that's just another potential catalyst here for the Knights. UCF had a successful homestand over this past week, picking up great back-to-back wins at home against Houston and USF, covering the spread in each of those particular wins. Then we have the home team here. The Memphis Tigers are another AAC squad that's hoping to make a run as an at-large team to the NCAA tournament. And the Tigers currently stand a respectable 14-5 overall and 4-2 in conference. Memphis has actually been the fastest team in the American, ranking first in the conference in scoring compared to 8th in total defense. Memphis picked up a nice win on the road against Houston in their last outing, getting by the Cougars by a final of 70 to 67 in what was a very competitive matchup. Memphis has been playing to the level of their competition as of late, competing well against top squads while also having a tough time separating from the lower tier opponents that they've faced. Memphis is led by Dedrick Lawson, who's been outstanding, averaging just over 20 points per game. It's going to be interesting to see how Memphis is able to deal with the top defense in the conference today, and the Tigers will try to get some tempo going behind their home crowd, but UCF has been playing some excellent ball as of late, and B.J. Taylor has been an integral piece with his returning, meaning a lot for the Knights. We do like UCF to make this one very competitive and potentially even push for the upset, but probably slowing down this Memphis offense a bit in this one in what should be a little bit lower scoring game than what the Tigers are used to. And with points coming more at a premium here, and with this spread shifting up a little bit to that 5 to 5.5 point range, we do feel like UCF has pretty solid value here, getting the points on the road. And that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Just 4 games I wanted to touch on in today's video. Again, if you're interested, you can get our daily free play over at our main site, stumpthespread.com, by clicking the logo here in the top right-hand corner of the video if you're on desktop, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. And also, if you're interested in more of this pick video content in the future, you can click that subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys for watching today. Good luck with your bets. Hope that we can get some more winners on the board today. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video. So thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye.